Why does it matter that we worship in the pattern of the ancient church? There are lots of ways one can worship today. Lots of people have lots of ways they choose to worship, which in fact can become problematic. Some people believe that worship should reflect the modern culture, and it should copy and imitate its methods in getting the attention and retaining the attention of the people. And I should say, some believe that you can choose your style of worship, and that maybe God doesn't even care, which also can be problematic. But in the Anglican tradition, we have sought to follow an ancient tradition, an ancient pattern. It's important because we place a real emphasis on tradition and a connectedness with the past. We seek for continuity. We base our pattern of worship on the pattern we find in the very earliest of the Christian church liturgies. We have manuscripts and documents of those early liturgies, and the pattern that we follow is almost identical to those. The earliest liturgies of the church were never designed to attract unbelievers. They were the earliest ways that the people worshiped God was to give the people a pattern to worship by, where they would bring glory to God. The entire place of worship would demonstrate and display the glory of God to the people, the beauty of God, the holiness of God. So if we look around today in our own sanctuaries, we might ask ourselves the question, are we reflecting that in our own church today? And is our sanctuary reflecting that? Continuity is important because it's important for God. It's important to God. His design for the Israelites was intended to last. It was not to be a transitory, short-lived kind of thing, but rather to continue in order to show God's unchanging nature, his eternal nature. The place of worship has always been a place of beauty. It was always furnished with the costliest of materials, with fine linens, precious metals, and fine fabrics and things like that. And our Anglican tradition seeks that emphasis as well. We seek to adorn our church with the imagery and the fine furnishings that show the beauty of God and the value that we really place on God and His majesty. Not all churches see this as an important emphasis. So all of these things, the ancient liturgy, the way we worship, the place that we worship in, the way it's designed, the way it's decorated, the way it's furnished, they all point to the value that we place on God. And all these things, further, they lift our minds, they lift our hearts up to the heavenly realms. And all of what we do here, of course, is going to fall short. It's all going to fall short and be imperfect, but this is not an excuse to just strip our sanctuaries of their beauty either. Rather, it's all the more reason to follow the pattern of the ancient church. And perhaps we should maybe listen and take to heart the words of the psalmist who says, "Oh, worship the Lord in the beauty of holiness, and let the whole earth stand in awe of Him."